Hello, good afternoon. I am here. I'm a bit late. I do apologise. I've just got back from the Sunday run. Anyway, it is Arsenal versus Crystal Palace women. We've just kicked off. It's about 2 minutes in, and still 0-0. Obviously, no goals as yet. I'm just trying to set the screen up right. So yes, we've got the team news. You've probably seen it already, but I'll just quickly put it on the screen for you, just for anyone that hasn't done. So there's not the changes from Arsenal that maybe we expected there to be, is there, in actual fact? But anyway, it's pretty much the same team, isn't it, that played the other night? Apart from, obviously, Jenna Nice-Wonger's in for Katie McCabe, who's suspended, and Beth Mead's in for Caitlin Ford, and that's it. So Leslie Russo, as we've often said, she plays every game regardless, and she's playing again, which is a little bit disappointing for me because I don't know. I just feel as though I don't know. This should have been a game to give. Hang on 2 seconds. I'm trying to find the right thing here. To give Stina a start because she's not really played much football, and it would have been a good opportunity, wouldn't it? But anyway. It is what it is, so that is it really. We can't worry too much about that. Anyway, it's 0-0. Crystal Palace, of course, battling for their lives, aren't they? We've got a lot of comments. I do apologise. I've missed them all. We've got Ryan says, Jenna starts, Russo still in for this one. Yeah, exactly. A little bit shocked about that. Anyway, Palace coming forward on this near side. There's a slip by Jenna, actually. Shot comes in, deflected, and good defending in the end by Leah Williamson, and Arsenal scramble it away. Andy Rivers, how you doing? And good to see you. Greg as well, looking forward to a big win today. Well, let's hope so, my friend. I don't think it's going to be easy, certainly not on what I've seen so far. Miss Pinksock says, hey there, chat, how are the girls going to do it today? Well, we're obviously going to win, aren't we? Greg says, with the team we're putting out, it's got to be 6 at least. Well, Renee's gone full strength, so yeah, absolutely. Miss Pink, I'm here. Hello, how you doing? I'm sorry I'm a bit late. I just got back from my run, and I just had to have something to eat quickly because my head was... I just needed to eat some food before I could come on. Greg, I'm still getting over. Yeah, I am. I'm still very disappointed about that. I've only just found out, so yeah, not very happy. Terry says, good afternoon, Richard, Greg, and Miss Pinks. I was looking forward to this one. Should be a nice, comfortable win. So, see, Crystal Palace aren't as bad as we think, you know. Ryan said, I've done a run. Yeah, I've just got back. I got back about 15 minutes ago. I just had to quickly have something to eat. Anyway, I was going forward now. Jenna Nice-Wonger into the box. Freedom Marnham, can she get the shot away? No, she can't. She was crowded out a little bit there. Plays the ball back though to the edge of the area. Mariona chips it in towards the far post, but she's overhit that. Beth Mead couldn't get there, and it's gone behind for a goal kick to Crystal Palace. Miss Pigs has won lots of goals. Well, we just want to win, really, but yeah, lots of goals would be nice, wouldn't it? Loved it. I love the kit as well, actually. I do love the kit. I'm not quite sure why we wear this when we play Crystal Palace. They mended as well, didn't they? And it is a little bit, blue shorts, and I don't know. I don't think it's ideal, is it? But anyway, we know who's who, don't we? We've been here long enough to know that. Joe says, after all, I wish they leave the clocks alone. Well, yeah, the clocks have kind of messed with my kind of stuff today, really, because I ended up oversleeping, actually, because the clocks change, but your body doesn't know the clocks have changed. So you wake up when you'd normally wake up, which to me was obviously an hour later than I intended to, because I don't set my alarm on a Sunday, you see. I just rely on my body clock. And my body clock was still on yesterday's time. So, yeah, I ended up getting up an hour later, which meant when you're going for a run, you have to plan your fuel in at the right time. So it meant I had to go out a bit later, which means I got back later, and it's all been a bit of a rush. But anyway, we're here, and it's 0-0, so I haven't missed anything, have we? And that's the main thing. And you guys are still here, which is the most important thing as well. Terry said, are they filming this on a phone? Well, it looks like they might be, actually. Yeah, I don't know. It's not a very good phone either. It's probably an iPhone 6 or something they're filming on, aren't they? Anyway, Mariona's coming forward now for Arsenal on this near side. To be fair, Palace are really up for this game. They've given everything so far. They're coming forward here on this near side, and they've just won a free kick as well. That was good play, actually, from Crystal Palace. They do look, they're only a point away from safety, so of course they're up for this game. I said Rich didn't prove. Well, no, they go forward automatically, don't they? I don't have manual clocks anymore, but anyway, I don't set my alarm on a Sunday. I just rely on my body, and unfortunately, I was still stuck in yesterday's time zone, and I got up later. But anyway, not to worry. It means I've had a good sleep, I suppose, but I've had a good run as well. But yeah, I'm just a bit flustered because I had to rush back. Or not rush back. I had to rush me lunch. Joe, so hope Jenna has a good game. Yeah, so far she started okay. So one little slip there, didn't she? It wasn't really her fault, but she looked okay so far. Vincey says, after hopefully we maintain our form. Yeah, let's hope so. We just need to win our games now, don't we? If we win all our games, we're going to end up with a very, very good season in the end, aren't we? Win all our remaining games in the league and Champions League. We're coming forward now. Frida Marnham over on that far side. Arsenal's right. Oh, she thought about a shot, and she does shoot. Oh, but she's just dragged it wide of the far post. And I must admit, this camera is shocking. We've said this before, haven't we, with YouTube? They want to stream the games, and you can say fair play that they're trying to get more and more people to watch the games, and that's a good thing. But surely they've got to invest more money in it somehow. Surely they have. Stop paying people like AFTV millions of pounds and use that money to go into investing in better equipment. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. Anyway. Terry says, Richard, what do you expect from a two-bob manager? If I was Stina, I'm out of it. Yeah, I was just saying that to Paula just before, actually. I'll be surprised if Stina stays. She always seems happy in the role that she's got, whether it started or coming off the bench. She seems happy, but I don't know. With the Euros this summer as well, is it going to affect her chances of... She's going to be in the Sweden squad, obviously, but I don't know. I personally, if I was her, I would have left already. I'd have left in January, but anyway. Maybe she's got a bit more about her than a lot of players have. Anyway, the shot comes in from distance. It's all goal kick was off her line, and that was an ambitious effort, wasn't it? The camera was so crap, I couldn't see it was who had that shot, actually. It was Frida Marnham. I know it was Beth Mead, actually. Beth Mead with that effort there trying to chip the keeper. That would have been a spectacular goal, wouldn't it? But it went over the top of the crossbar. This game, of course, is being played at Sutton United's ground, which I believe used to be called Gander Green Lane, and now it's got some sponsorship deal. But Gander Green Lane is a great name for a stadium, isn't it? Let's be honest. It's probably the greatest name for a stadium ever. I mean, our stadium is a bit boring. And even Meadow Park is a little bit of a boring name. The Emirates is really boring. Gander Green Lane is a fantastic name for a stadium, isn't it? It's obviously the name of the road it's on. But, I think some sponsorship deal now, it's called something else in it. But anyway, I'm still going to call it Gander Green Lane just because I like that name. Richard one says Renee knows what she's doing, trust her. Well, no, to a certain degree we have to trust her. She's the manager and I'm sure she does know what she's doing. But if you're going to rotate your squad, and you need to rotate your squad, you do. If you're going to rotate your squad, surely you rotate your squad in this game as opposed to some of the other games we've got coming up between now and the end of the season when you look at the opposition. But yeah, Renee knows what she's doing. We're not going to necessarily question it. If we win this game 3 or 4-0, no one cares. If we lose or we drop points, then we can question her because you obviously got it wrong. Vinny says, yeah, they'll try quickly. Or maybe they will, yeah. We don't know, do we? Terry says, I used to play my running around the old Bill turning up. Yeah, just before they turn up would be a good place to start, wouldn't it, really, I suppose? Give you a head start. That's what you need. Miss Pinksot says, the camera is shy. It is shy, yeah. They should use my camera, actually. If you've ever seen any of my vlogs, you'll see my camera's actually quite good. I've got 2 or 3 good cameras, in actual fact. Joe says, camera makes me feel I'm going to have a virago. I think you mean, what's it called? A vertigo. Yeah, it is horrible. Vicky says, agree, kits look too similar with this camera. Yeah, and with the sunlight as well, doesn't help, does it, I suppose? Anyway, we know who's who, don't we? Because we know our players so well now. Terry says, got a bit of goose about it. Yeah, vertigo, exactly, yeah. Vertigo, that was exactly what... I know that's what you meant. Anyway, also coming forward over on that far side with Emily Fox. She never gets a rest either, does she? I actually I'm going to blame Tim Stillman, in actual fact, because in his match preview on his site, which is Arsneal, which is really good actually, he predicted the lineup and he predicted quite a few changes. So Renee's looked at that and thought, no, Tim, I'm going to pick my own team, thank you very much. And she's gone completely opposite to what he said. So I'm blaming Tim for the fact that Stina's not playing, because he had Stina in the team. As I think most of us did, to be fair. He had Katie Reid in at right back instead of Emily Fox. He didn't have Mariona in the team. He didn't have Russo in the team. So I think Renee's just gone, you know what, Tim? I think she had the same team as Tim originally. She saw what Tim had pulled. No, I'm not going to go with what Tim said. So she changed it. I'm sure that's not the reason. But anyway, I totally wanted Tim's team. Actually, that was the team I was looking forward to seeing today. Anyway, we're looking at the same team that's played pretty much every game recently. So there you go, which has been good to be played well. So who cares? Ryan says Goose in the Gander. Exactly. Oh, Gander Green Lane. Goose. Yeah, Goosey Gander. Yeah. Richard, what camera do you use when you're out jogging? Pictures quality. For me jogging ones, I'm using the DJI Action 5 action camera, which is really good actually. It's in fact I used to have, I've still got the Pocket 3, DJI Pocket 3, which I used to use for me running videos, and I was finding it was good for the sort of standing still talking videos and stuff like that. The football journeys videos and stuff it's really good for. But with the running videos, it wasn't quite as good. Plus, it wasn't waterproof and couldn't really use it in the rain. So I got the Action 5 Pro just after it came out, actually, like towards the end of last year. And yeah, it's amazing. It's really, really an amazing camera. And I use it now pretty much for everything, all my vlogs and everything. I'm using that camera now because it's just so good. And I've got the DJI Mini mic as well, which is tiny, but the sound quality is fantastic. So yeah, that's a good setup actually. YouTube should use that. So YouTube, if you're watching, you want me to film your games, let me know. I've got a camera. I don't even need to use your rubbish camera. I've got my own, and I'll do a better job. I'm pretty sure I will. Anyway, Arsenal coming forward now. This is good football actually from Arsenal. This ball up this near side finds Chloe Kelly's playing on the left. Goes around the outside. She does well. Puts a good cross in. To the edge of the penalty. Shot comes in. Oh, it's a goal. That's a brilliant goal. It's Beth Mead. That is fantastic. That was brilliant play by Chloe Kelly. Another assist for her. How can we doubt Chloe Kelly? Eh? What a fantastic player she is. That is another assist for Chloe Kelly. And after, 10, 15 minutes or so, we have got the lead. So, of course, that only means one thing. That was actually a really, really good goal. We have to say a really, really good goal. Brilliant play from Chloe. It's a good move actually before that. I think it was Frida Marnham's ball out to the left-hand side. Chloe Kelly went round the outside with her left foot, put a cross in, a weaker foot, you could say, to the edge of the penalty. Beth Mead volleyed it in. That's a fantastic goal. Yeah, brilliant stuff. 110 volts says Kelly on fire. She is at the minute. Wow, playing so well. Terry says you need to change the Action 5 because it don't look like you're running, more like filming from a car. Well, it's because I'm running fast, that's why. Joe says a great strike. Mido. Indeed, it was Beth Meado with the goal. Brilliant stuff. Terry says left foot as well. Was it left foot from Mead as well? Wow. So it's a left foot cross from Kelly and a left foot volley from Beth Mead. So both of their weaker foots. That's a fantastic goal. Even better, isn't it? Anyway, Leslie Russo now over on that far side in the sunshine here in Sutton at Gander Green Lane. And Russo's going to get to this byline. Can she keep it in? No, she can't. She's just overrun it. And it's gone behind for a goal kick. Vicky P says, Beth, still a class striker of football. Oh, absolutely. I mean, you know, you're not going to lose that, are you? I think what she's lost a little bit is maybe a slight little bit of pace. Not that pace was her strength anyway. And just, I don't know, the rhythm of it all. I think she's had to change the way. I think sometimes you have to change the way you run and the way you move. And I think it makes it more difficult to adapt and adjust. You know, she's still a quality player, but I just think because of how good she was before her injury, I said before she got injured, and I'll stick by it now, in 2022, she was the best player in the world. And when you then get a serious injury and you're out for a long time, it's going to be nearly impossible, isn't it, to get back to that level? And that's what she struggled to do. So although she's still a very good player, because she doesn't look quite as good as she did before, everyone thinks she's not playing well. And it doesn't look as good. I was going forward again. Chloe Kelly, lovely little knock off there to Jenna Nicewanger on this near side. And Arsenal playing some lovely stuff now. Got some confidence there. Will says Chloe Kelly's crossing ability is unreal. Get her to the men's team. Yeah, absolutely. Her crossing is incredible. But then if she played for the men's team, she wouldn't be allowed to do that because that's not what the men's team, they don't put crosses in, do they? They get to the byline, pull it back. That's how they play. We don't put crosses in. Anyway, Palace now trying to respond. They're still in this game. It's only 1-0. They've played pretty well, Palace. It's just that Arsenal's quality has shone through. Particularly the quality of Chloe Kelly and Beth Mead for that goal there, combining brilliantly. Richard says Kelly is a player like Mead in the run-up to 22 euros. Yeah, no, exactly, yeah. I mean, I think everybody. I mean, we were talking to Paul. Was having a conversation about it the other night about the Euros and the Lionesses and stuff, and everybody in that squad pretty much all came together at the same time at the top of their game, didn't they? And I think some of them, unfortunately, since then have just dropped down a level. Maybe injuries with Leah and with Beth, and some of them are coming towards the end of their career. Fran Kirby, and obviously some retired, didn't they? Ellen White and Jill Scott and Rachel Daly and people like that. So it all just came together in that one tournament, didn't it? And yes, we reached the World Cup final. We wasn't quite as good. And we'll probably do well in the Euros this summer. Whether we can win it again, I don't know. But it's never going to be, back past there, almost played Crystal Palace into trouble. Why does everybody do this? Why does everybody do this? It's so frustrating. Crystal Palace, you're bottom of the WSL. Do not try and play it out from the back thinking you're Barcelona, even though your kit's quite similar. It's not going to work. You're going to make mistakes. Matthew says, Mariona's pass is a bit off today. Yeah, she's not really been in this game so far, has she, really? But anyway, it is 1-0, so we don't really mind, do we? Anyway, the ball's gone through to Daphne, who's all in black, actually, a black kit today for Daphne. She's not really had to do a lot so far, has she? Vicky P says, this could be Kelly's tournament in 2025. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. Terry says, Meadow better than Cart Horse and ain't a charity case. Kelly's not a charity case. She's one of our old players, man. Come on. And she's playing so well at the minute. And, I was excited we got her in the first place. So I'm definitely excited now she's playing and playing well. And I like Chloe Kelly. And if we can sign at the end of the season, I'll be absolutely delighted. Miss Pinksot says, Matthew, I was literally just thinking this. Yeah, she's just not really been in the game, has she, so far? It's not really come off for her yet. But we know what a quality player she is. And I'm sure she'll have an impact in this game at some stage, whether it's with a goal or an assist or just a few amazing things that she tends to do. And Beth May's looking sharp in this early stage of this game as well, actually, which is good to see. And Leah Volti back in the midfield. Well, yeah, I don't think she's a cart horse at all. I think she's brilliant, but Terry's not so keen on Chloe Kelly. But anyway, that ball's forward there for Chloe Kelly. Is she offside? Yes, she is offside. Oh, that was a shame because that was a lovely ball over the top, actually. Was that Jenna Nicewonger with that pass? Because that was a great ball if it was over the top, but Chloe Kelly was just offside. Obviously been watching Stina in training and just didn't quite time her run right there. And Crystal Palace trying to play out from the back and play themselves into trouble. See, why do they do it? Why do teams keep doing it? It annoys me, even though it's done us a favour because we might well get a second goal. It just annoys me that teams keep doing it when they're not good enough to do it. You've got to be exceptional. And this cross comes in from the right-hand side this time. That was Beth Mead's cross looking for Chloe Kelly at the reverse of the goal, but that one was slightly overhit. And Jenna Nicewonger is going to take this throw on this near side. And Steph Catley now in possession. El Loco says, we have to keep Chloe. No way she's leaving now. She's a big game player and we need such a taste. Absolutely, I totally agree with you. I want us to sign her. I'm desperate for us to sign her because she's exactly the sort of player that we need. And, if she hadn't come on loan, if, say, we bought her in January, I think everybody would say that's exactly the type of player we need. But because it's a loan, I think maybe people look at it differently. I don't know. I don't. I'm just glad we've got her because she helped get us through the Champions League the other night. And I'm sure she's going to be important in the rest of the season as well. And if we can sign her permanently, then fantastic because it's a free transfer as well, isn't it? We've got Herman with us you're from Toronto. How you doing, Herman? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well as well, my friend. What's the weather like there in Toronto? Probably, is it a bit chilly? It's been really sunny here today, a bit windy. Beautiful day for a run it was. Out of the wind in particular, it was lovely. Anyway, Arsenal coming forward here. Mariona now. Is she going to find a better pass? She does up this near side. Chloe, that's a lovely ball. Finds Frida Marnham inside the penalty area. Pulls it back to the edge of the penalty area. Shot comes in. Oh, was that Leah Volti? I think it might have been actually. Anyway, a shot was blocked. And Palace can't really get the ball away. And Arsenal still in possession. In fact, it was Jenna Nicewonger who pulled that ball back. That cross comes in from the far side. It's not a great cross. Easily headed out by Crystal Palace. And it goes behind for a goal kick. 110 volts says, is Rosa on the bench or still on a naughty step? That's a good question, actually. I only briefly saw the team. Is Rosa on the bench? Let's have a look. Yeah, she is, yeah. Yeah, she's on the bench. Yeah. Wasn't sure. I only saw Stina on the bench. That's all I care about. No, I didn't have a chance to look at the bench, actually. Ange B says, definitely a permanent, hopefully. Yeah. Vicky says, loving our England forward line. Yeah, no, the forward line looks really good. I'm a bit worried about the midfield and backup centre forward as well for Leslie. If she is injured or ever it is in a tournament or something, I don't think we have a quality substitute for her personally. But anyway, we have got some great talent in the attacking part of the pitch. There's no doubt about that. And we'll do well in the Euros. Don't get me wrong. We'll do well. Can we win it though? I'm not sure. But who knows? We beat Spain, didn't we, recently? So why not? El Loco says, I like Nice Rogger. She's quick, reads the game well, born with a natural left foot. Yeah, I love a good left-footed player. I'm left-footed myself, so I always side with a left-footed player. Anyway, Frida Marnham in a central position finds Jenna again on this night, gets it back. Oh, there's a good shot there from Frida Marnham. It was blocked. And Jenna Nice Rogger against. There's a lot of the ball on this near side. She's done pretty well so far in this game, actually. Good to see her getting some minutes on the pitch. Mariota now on this near side, exchanging passes with Chloe Kelly. Oh, she tried to thread that ball through to Frida Marnham, but it was cut out. And now Crystal Palace can try and come forward themselves. Well, this is good play in midfield, actually. And Crystal Palace have shown some neat and tidy touches, actually, but that ball forward has broken down and Arsenal pick up possession again with Steph Catley. Herman says, thank you, Richard. That 91st. Wow. Could we all just take a minute to say happy birthday to Herman? 91. He's definitely our oldest viewer. I don't think there's any doubt about that. He already was our oldest viewer before anyway. 91. Fantastic. Good. Congratulations to Herman. Brilliant stuff. Hope you're having a great birthday. And hopefully Arsenal will get a win here for you. Going well so far, isn't it? So every goal that Arsenal scored today is for Herman's birthday, his 91st birthday. Brilliant stuff. Terry saying happy birthday to Herman indeed. Well, 91, fantastic. Greg says it depends on Chloe's old man whether she stays or not. He's a man. Well, it doesn't matter really what he is, does it? It's what she wants to do. It's her career, not his. He's not a footballer, is he? I don't think. Anyway. She's Arsenal born and bred, Chloe Kelly, so she's staying at Arsenal because that's what she needs to do. Miss Pinkshot saying happy birthday, Matthew. Well, yeah, you're going to get a lot of love today, my friend. Here, absolutely. 91. Oh, and Arsenal got a rather scrappy second goal there. Leslie Russo almost pinched the ball off the defender, tried to poke it past the goalkeeper, but she made a decent save. And it remains 1-0, 25 minutes played. Will says, happy birthday, Herman. Also, happy Mother's Day. Well, to the mothers, of course. Yeah, we're not all mothers in the chat, are we? But yeah, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Anyway, Arsenal now with a chance for a second goal. Leslie Russo with a shot. She puts it away. And you can't give Leslie Russo that kind of opportunity inside the penalty area because that is what will happen. It is 2-0. And this game looks to be already done and dusted. And we've not even played half an hour yet. It is 2-0. Fantastic stuff. And again, Crystal Palace giving the ball away. Leslie Russo. That's another left-footed goal, actually. So there you go. Seems like it's the day for left-footers, isn't it? Or left-footed strikes. And it is 2-0. And Arsenal are cruising to victory in this game. And yes, it's all going pretty well so far. What's happened here, actually? This seems to be the Crystal Palace players are in a little huddle. Frida Marnham's talking to the referee. I'm assuming the goal must have been given. Well, it has been given, yeah. Of course it's been given. There was no reason for it not to be given, I could see. Anyway, it is a goal. It is 2-0. Miss Pinkshot says, Russo. Matthew says, reaching 91 is awesome. Well, it is, absolutely. And reaching 92 will be even better next year. Greg says, Russo, golden boot on the way. Well, maybe so. Richard says, Russo, golden boots. Yeah, maybe. And of course, we've got some more congratulations to her. And Russo says, Dean, goal. Greg says, happy birthday, Herman. What's the secret of a long life? Obviously, not watching the men's team. Well, yeah, not watching the men's team over the last few years is definitely the way to a longer life. And Herman says, thank you so much. Chloe is a great player. She's a great player. She is an absolute great player. And we all love her apart from Terry. Anyway, Crystal Palace are now coming forward looking for a goal back. Not going to get it, though, because Emily Fox is in there. Well, it is a corner. They've won a corner, Crystal Palace. And obviously from their point of view, they could do get the goal back before half time, couldn't they? Otherwise, you can see Arsenal absolutely running away with this game. Absolutely running away with it. Herman says, love Russo. Yeah, we all love Russo. And we all love Chloe Kelly, apart from Terry. It's a corner to Crystal Palace over on that far side. And they have actually played quite well, but they've made a couple of mistakes and been paid for it. Anyway, the header comes in at the far post. That was a volley at the far post, just wide. And I do think Crystal Palace will go down. I really do think they will go down. And it's a shame because what we don't want to see is the WSL becoming, you know, in the Premier League, pretty much the 3 teams that come up, at least 2 of them go straight back down again. We don't really want that to happen, do we? In the WSL, it happens too many times, and I know it's difficult when you get promoted into the top league, the investment and stuff like that, and it's hard to. Oh, Arsenal just made a mistake. In fact, they haven't, because it's a free kick. There was a foul there. Was it Leah Volti that's been fouled? And it was a foul actually. Otherwise, Crystal Palace would have had a counter attack, and Leah Volti gone down and. Did she get an arm in the face? I think it might have been. Anyway, it's going to be a free kick to Arsenal, quite rightly so. And Leah Volti is okay. She's back on her feet again. No problem, really. And Leah Williamson is going to take this free kick. And she's another player, a bit like Beth Mead, is Leah Williamson, who hasn't quite got the consistent level that she was at before her injury. She's still a fantastic player and she's still one of the best in the world. But I think she's struggled to get consistency back, hasn't she? That's been the problem. Even the other night against Real Madrid, I thought she was brilliant in that game. I thought she played so well. But at the same time, she made 1 or 2 uncharacteristically sloppy mistakes, which has crept into her game more since she returned from injury. But I think she, again, a bit like Beth Mead, she's still a great player, maybe just not quite at the level before the injury. And I think that's understandable. Russo's done well, touches the ball through. Frida Minor's going to get on the end of this. No, she's not quite good defending, actually. And Frida Minor makes those brilliant runs, doesn't she, into the penalty area. She does it time after time after time again, gets herself into great positions. That's why she scores so many goals. Anyway, Leah Williamson now has got the ball inside the centre circle, touches it off to Emily Fox. Scampers after the ball, keeps it in, gets it back from Beth Mead. We've got 2 American fullbacks in the team today for the first time. Well, the first time they've started. We started with that. I think Jenna played the second half, didn't she, last week against Liverpool. Another great performance that was from Arsenal. The pitch is looking all right, a little bit bobbly, a little bit dry, it seems, but a lot better than some of the pitches we've played on in recent weeks. Anyway, Leslie Russo tried to turn away. In fact, it was Beth Mead, tried to turn away and couldn't quite get the ball under control. It's rolled through to the Crystal Palace goalkeeper. Will says, Arsenal men need a striker signing like Russo, clinical, strong, quick in the box, a natural scorer. Well, any centre forward for Arsenal men would be needed. That's the one main position that we've never strengthened in 5 years since we sold it. Well, when did we sell Aubameyang? 4 years ago. We've never strengthened that position, really, have we, since? And that's why we've got the problem we've got now, because we've had 4 years to sort it out and we haven't. And now it's getting to the point where we're going to have to pay a lot of money to get the player that we need. Oh, another mistake at the back from Palace, and they just about survived that one. They're hanging on a bit at times here, Palace. Every time they try to play around at the back, they're making mistakes. Why do teams do it? Why? Could someone please answer me that question? Why do teams who clearly aren't at the level to do it keep playing it out from the back? Why? You've got to play percentage every day. Get the ball away from your goal. Play football in the other team's half, or at least, you know, in the second third, not in your own, like your own third of the pitch. It's asking for trouble. Unless you've got absolutely top quality players who every single touch is perfect, you're never going to be able to pull it off. And even in the men's team, in the Premier League, it's the same. Half the teams in the Premier League aren't good enough. Most of them aren't good enough to do it, yet they continue to do it. You know, Jenna's cross there wasn't too great, straight to the arm of the goalkeeper. So why are a team like Crystal Palace doing it? Why? What benefit can they possibly get from doing it? Anyway, they are coming forward now over on the far side, and they are trying to play football now in Arsenal's half, and that's better. Terry says, Frida's too slow, needs to take some trotting lessons off the goals. Dear, oh dear. Ryan says it would cost 100 million for Russo. Well, I mean, in the women's game, it wouldn't, because women's players don't cost that much. For a player like that in the men's team, absolutely. I mean, you're looking at someone like Alexander Isak, aren't we? Or a player of that kind of quality. You pay over 100 million for a player like that for the men's team. Absolutely, you would. And we got Leslie Russo for free. How good's that? But anyway, we need to just appreciate that we've got her in our team, because, yeah, she's brilliant. Anyway, Jenna, nice one. We're coming forward up this near side. Finds Chloe Kelly again. Plays the ball in field to Leslie Russo. Touch it off, gets the ball back to Leah Volti. Now it's with Mariona. And Arsenal trying to get the third goal. Oh, and Chloe Kelly just loses out there. But Arsenal going to run the ball back. Leslie Russo threads it through to the edge of the box. Oh, back heel there from Frida Mann. I'm looking to play into the path of Chloe Kelly. She didn't get that right. And in the end, the ball's run through to the Crystal Palace goalkeeper. And actually, the screen doesn't look right to me. The screen doesn't look right. You know why I think it is? I think it's because we haven't got... we haven't got the background on, have we? Hang on, what's happening? I don't know why the background isn't working. Not sure, really. Is there any reason? Oh, I see why, because it needs to be on that screen. That's it. Oh, that's Liverpool. That's no good. We got this one. Look, get it right. Christ, look, that's better. I wonder, it was freaking me out, that screen. It wasn't right, was it? Anyway, also coming forward again, a shot from distance goes wide. And was that Frida Mann? I'm not sure if it was. Anyway, there we go. It's still 2-0 to Arsenal. And we've played nearly 35 minutes here at Sutton United's ground, Gander Green Lane, a scene of a particularly famous FA Cup upset back in the 1980s, wasn't it? Or was it Coventry they beat Sutton United here in an extraordinary FA Cup tie back in the day? I think it was it when Coventry were the holders of the FA Cup, and it was a early round of the following season, and they lost to non-league Sutton United. That was an incredible game. I remember that. Anyway, Crystal Palace coming forward. Their number 11 looks good, actually. And a shot from the edge of the box. Maybe she's going to try a shot inside the box. Oh, she maybe delayed it too long there. The ball in the end hit the defender, Steph Catley. And maybe an earlier shot there might have been a better option. Steph Catley now bringing the ball forward for Arsenal. Not really been under too much pressure in this game. It's been quite comfortable so far in this first half. 2-0. Two good finishes from Beth Mead and Leslie Russo. And it's been a comfortable first half, which means we might see some change in the second half, mightn't we? We might see Vicky P coming on. We might see, obviously, Stina coming on. We might see Rosa Kafaji, maybe. Who knows? Lots of options from the bench. And Arsenal trying to come forward again over on that far side, but that ball isn't going to find Leslie Russo, and the goalkeeper in control of that situation. Ryan says that's the clever thing with Russo, her turn and run and her strength. Yeah, she's a great player, Leslie Russo. Don't get me wrong, right? And I think she's brilliant. I love Leslie Russo. But she shouldn't necessarily be playing every minute of every single game, because she, like anyone else, she needs a rest. She does. And you've got a squad. Rotate your squad sometimes. You know what I mean? That's what you've got to do. We've seen what's happened when Saka's got overplayed. So we don't need to overplay anybody, because we've got a good squad of players, haven't we? We've got strength in depth. Let's use it a bit more. That's all I want to see. I just want to see the squad used a bit more, particularly in games like this, when we've got enough about us to win this game, regardless of what 11 players are out on the pitch, because we're much better than Crystal Palace. And Crystal Palace are fighting for everything. They're working hard. They're giving everything that they can, but ultimately they haven't got the quality, have they? There's no doubt, and this is why it would be so important for Crystal Palace to survive this season, and grow. And that's how some of the teams that have, Aston Villa, for example, are one. I mean, they could still go down this year, but they kind of survived and managed to kind of grow on the end of it. And there's no mistake at the back, and Chloe Kelly's inside the penalty area. Oh, the goalkeeper's out. Well, actually, that's a good save. Maybe Chloe Kelly just overran that ball slightly, but again, it was her pressing that won the ball. And that's what I'm talking about, the quality there. Crystal Palace are giving everything, but they just lack the quality needed against the top teams at this level. And it's a lesson for them. If they can survive, they can grow. But we'll see. I mean, I think it's going to be tough for them to stay up. But at least they've given themselves a chance. Obviously, the win over Aston Villa has really given them a hope they can stay up. Terry says Russo also drops out of position too much. She needs to stay in the centre forward position, especially in the box. Yes, she does. But then I think her role in the team, because she's so good at linking the play, I think she's given that freedom, if you like, to not necessarily stay in the box. And I mean, let's face it, her goal scoring record this season has been really good. She's one of the top goal scorers in the league. She scored a lot of goals, certainly in the second half of last season. So she's getting enough goals. Could she get more if she spent more time in the box? Yes, she probably would. But then we'd be missing her link-up play when she drops deeper. And I don't think that's a bad thing. That's why sometimes it works with Stina playing as well, because Leslie can drop deeper and Stina can make those runs into the box and get on the end of things. Leslie can't do it all on her own. She can't link the play outside the box and expect to get on the end of the ball when it comes in. No. Although she's got a lot better at that. She's getting into the box more now. And then obviously, that's why she's scoring more goals than she was when she first joined Arsenal. I thought second half of last season onwards, the goals have really picked up. Joe says, I think Aston Villa will stay up. Crystal Palace have, out of the two, the harder games. Yeah, and I think Aston Villa are better than them. I do. I know they've had a terrible run of form, but I do think ultimately they are a better team, and they'll probably pick up, like you said, they'll probably pick up the results they need. Greg says Russo's one goal behind Shaw now. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. She's scoring the goals now. She probably could get more. Absolutely, she could if she spent more time in the penalty area. But there you go. Jenna now on its near side. Chloe Kelly's on the overlap. She's found Chloe Kelly again. Can she get another crossing with her left foot? She cuts back inside this time. Tries to go past the defender, and maybe the cross there would have been a better option. Maybe. El Loco says, was hoping that Rene would rotate and start Stina today to give her minutes. She must be sick of the bench. I fear she'll leave in the summer. No, I agree. I think she probably will leave in the summer. I'm surprised she didn't maybe leave in January, actually. But anyway, I'm glad she didn't. But yeah, it must be frustrating for her. Richard says, I don't understand why Villa have been so poor this season. No, I always look at Villa. Oh, hang on. Crystal Palace giving the ball away again, trying to play it out from the back. Oh, and that was a strange ball from Frida Mine. I'm actually looking for Beth Mead. And in the end, Crystal Palace clear it away. Every season you look at Aston Villa and think they've got some good players. They could be a threat. And every year they generally seem to struggle. I don't know what's going on there. There's obviously some issues. They've changed manager and stuff. I don't know. Miss Pinksot says poor Villa in the slump. They are, yeah. And I say it doesn't make a lot of sense when you look at their team. But, it's obviously it's deeper than just the players, isn't it? Individually, it's a collective thing there, isn't it? And they've obviously got some issues going on at Aston Villa. But I do think they will survive, and maybe they'll improve next season. I don't know, but it's going to be a shame for Crystal Palace. And it's a shame for the WSL, really, especially as they're looking at potentially putting relegation and promotion on hold for a couple of years at least while they try and expand the leagues. We don't want to close shop, do we? That's not good for football. We like to see clubs, promotion, relegation. You need jeopardy, don't you? You need the possibility of going down. And, we need more teams coming up and coming down. We know that. and that is going to be the long-term plan. I'm sure it is. We might have to have a year or two of no promotion and relegation, or no relegation, certainly, when that'd be a shame. But anyway, Emily Fox now over on that far side, Arsenal looking for a third goal in the last couple of minutes of this first half. Might be able to get it now. Chloe Kelly in the box over on that far side, and that's a good save by the keeper at the near post. Arsenal looking to kill this game off before half time, and that was a good play again over on that far side. Chloe Kelly pops up there on the edge of the penalty area, took a good first touch and then whipped that shot in at the near post, but the goalkeeper saved it pretty well. Joe says Villa looked promising at the start of the season. 1-0 loss to Chelsea pointed towards a decent season. Yeah, they do that all the time though, don't they? Greg says hopefully Villa stays poor until after we play. Well, yeah, obviously they're about to raise their game against us, aren't they? But yeah, hopefully they don't. Well, it doesn't matter. We should be good enough to beat them anyway, shouldn't we? Let's be honest. Anyway, Aston Villa, Crystal Palace there trying to come forward over on that far side. Miss Pink Sock says there, this camera do my eyes in. Yeah, it isn't great at all. It isn't great at all. El Loco says, looks like our Swedish girls will leave en masse. They're not playing. Yeah, maybe Rene's got a problem with Swedes. I don't know. Maybe Ag and Grat need to have a word with her, because, yeah, they don't seem to get much minutes today, the Swedish girls. But anyway, let's see what happens. Steph Catley now plays the ball forward. See, Arsenal can sort of play out from the back, and, you know, we can 9 times out of 10 maybe get away with it because we have got players that are really good with the ball. Crystal Palace don't, and I can't understand why they keep trying to do it. And not just Crystal Palace, it's everybody. Anyway, there's an offside against Beth Mead over on that far side. We're into the last minute of the first half. There's not going to be much stoppage time, is there? Because we've had no stoppages. So I'll be surprised if there's any stoppage time. Greg says, Rene just telling Russo to put more effort into the game. Is that what she was telling her, is it? I think she's done all right so far. Got herself a good goal. And it's going to be a throw to Crystal Palace over on that far side. Attacking the end, Crystal Palace, where the Arsenal fans are gathered. There's more Arsenal fans than Crystal Palace fans. But then that's pretty much in the world. There's more Arsenal fans than Crystal Palace fans. Anyway, Steph Catley's now gone down. So we are going to get a little bit of stoppage time now. Is it a knee issue there, which would be a worry? Doesn't look like a serious problem. But is it an ankle problem? No, I think it's a knee problem. She's trying to stretch. We're coming up now to the 45-minute mark. And we are going to get some stoppage time now. Joe says, I'm surprised sick note is still on the books. Lena Hurtig, yeah, no, I'm a little bit, yeah. El Loco says, I'm 100% sure Lena Hurtig will leave. She has 0 to the side and looks disinterested. Amanda and Stina may have a future, maybe. See, I think Amanda and Lena will leave in the summer. I kind of think, I'm a bit undecided about Stina. Obviously, I want her to stay. I know there's a few of us want her to stay. But I would totally understand if she leaves. Totally understand it. But I'm hoping that, I don't know. She seems happy, though. That's the thing with Stina. She does seem happy with the role that she's got in the team, I think. Obviously, she wants to be playing more. Of course she does. Every single player does. Anyway, Crystal Palace now have a chance to get a goal back. Oh, the shot over the bar. There was a slip inside the penalty area from Leah Williamson, I think it was. And it presented Crystal Palace with an opportunity there to get a goal back just before half time. It was a slip there from Leah Williamson, but the shot there was over the top of the crossbar. The Macronia, Neil says there. Also, remember, Stina maybe will leave because Adjumang is coming back next year from her Brighton loan. Is she better than Stina? I don't think she is, personally. Not yet. Greg says Amanda too slow, she needs to go. Yeah, maybe. Matthew says strikers also need to gamble and anticipate crosses in the box. Russo wasn't doing it first half against. No, she wasn't, but she certainly did second half, didn't she? Ryan says maybe Stina loves the Arsenal. Yeah, maybe she does. Maybe she just wants to stay because we love her on the channel. Maybe that's what it is, and she doesn't want to disappoint us. Maybe that's what it is, because she definitely watches the channel. There's no doubt. She definitely does. So, yeah, maybe that might be why, who knows. But we'll see what happens at the end of the season. I think there's going to be a few changes in and out. I think that's obvious. with Rene's kind of first window as permanent manager. And B says, I love Steiner. Yeah, we all love Steiner. Well, most of us do. I know there's some comments we've had, people that are not so keen on Steiner, but anyway, we ignored him, don't we? Anyway, it's half time here at Gander Green Lane in Sutton. It is Crystal Palace 0, Arsenal 2. It's been a pretty comfortable Arsenal performance. We haven't played brilliantly. We haven't played poorly. It's just been an okay performance. We've done okay. We've created some chances. We've scored 2 goals. 2 good goals. It was Beth Mead with a first after 14 minutes. It was Chloe Kelly down left-hand side. A lovely cross to the edge of the box, a left-footed volley from Beth Mead. And then after about half an hour, wasn't it the second goal? Crystal Palace gave the ball away. It fell to Leslie Russo on the outside, on the edge of the penalty area. And again, it was a left foot finish into the far corner. And it's 2-0, very, very comfortable really for Arsenal. That was a great, and they just showed the Beth Mead goal again. That's a great volley, actually. Joe says, enjoyable half it was. Terry says he loves Salty, indeed. Vicky says, a comfortable performance so far, more goals second half and expect changes. Yeah, exactly. I would imagine there'll be change in the second half. But yeah, it's been an enjoyable first half. Nothing to worry about, nothing to concern us too much. Just good stuff, really, isn't it? That's what we want to see. Just nice, comfortable football. Easy-ish game, which is, after the week we've had, it's certainly what we needed. And yeah, things are looking good, and I'm sure we can go on in the second half and get a couple more goals and win this one a bit more comfortably, which we should do, shouldn't we? Right, okay, so stay with us because we'll be back for the second half. We'll be back shortly, actually. I just there's a couple of things I need to finish off that I didn't get a chance to do before the game started. So stick with us. We'll be back very, very shortly for the second half. It is half time here at Gander Green Lane. It is Crystal Palace 0, Arsenal 2. Palace have had 1 or 2 moments. A shot just at the end of the first half there. Could have got a goal back. We certainly need to get a third goal, don't we, just to really finish it off. But yeah, it's been a good Arsenal performance in the sunshine. It is Crystal Palace 0, Arsenal 2. We'll be back very shortly for the second half. Hi, welcome back. We're getting ready for the second half. Of course, we are. It is going to be good, isn't it? Always been loads of comments coming. LG's whoever said it, my friend, he says we've got Leslie Russo while City has Amida Meyer, who bullies coaches into playing her at midfield, even though they still have no Bunny Short. Well, yeah, exactly. El Loco says we all love Stina, great fighter, but she won't dislodge Russo ever. That's true. She needs to start and can't be happy on the bench. Spurs need. Oh, don't you be saying that, my friend. No, not Spurs. Regenda, we must say, my friend, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Greg says 9 goals in 2.5 games. Not bad. Mitch Pinktot says, hi, Regenda, welcome indeed. Patty says, great performance so far. Would like to see us dominate a little more. Well, yeah, it hasn't been a fantastic performance, but yeah, we've played well. That's good enough. Regenda says, the grass looks to be higher than Arsenal used to, so not as smooth a performance as last 2 games. No, obviously the pitch is not as good. We know that. US Blue says, we are struggling to pin them back, doing well on a counter attack. Yeah, no, we've done a good job, really. Little Cubby says, I've got a bottle of champagne I'm saving for when we win the Champions League or WSL. But if we sign Chloe Kelly, I'll open it for that for sure. Well, maybe save it for the Champions League. I reckon we might win that. Under 70 Gunner says, not really impressed with Marnham or Nice-Wonga. Maybe get Pullover on. You're never impressed with Marnham, though. She could score 5 goals and you wouldn't be impressed with her. I think she's done all right. I think Nice-Wonga's done all right, actually. Greg says, I'm glad I got rid of my black and white last week, or else I wouldn't be able to tell which team. Oh, black and white. Oh, right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, there's no sound, is there? Oh, okay. Is there no sound? Can you not hear me? Anyway, Wyatt says, yes, minutes with Vicky, maybe half of the half. Yeah, something like that. Audio is audio off, is it? Can you not hear me? Oh. Jenna is playing pretty well, still adjusting to Arsenal's style. Yeah, I think she's done all right, yeah. The left-hand side of the pitch, Cartles has been eating it. Oh, dear. Was it just when that music was on? Was it the music you couldn't hear? Oh, okay. I don't know why. Marnham is a loose cannon. You never know what you're going to get from her. Well, no, I wouldn't say she's a loose cannon. I think she's the one player that maybe she'll make runs inside into the box. She'll make runs into space, and she maybe does things outside of the structure of the team sometimes, which I quite like. You know, she gets goals as well. So, we're about to get the second half off and underway here at Gander Green Lane. Arsenal in the sort of light blue and purpley, dark blue shorts kit, and Crystal Palace in their Barcelona type normal kit. But it's a little bit of a clash. But anyway, we know where we are. It's Crystal Palace nil, Arsenal 2. And we're about to get the second half underway here in Sutton. Let's see if we can add to our goal total here. I'm sure we can. We are back off and underway. Leslie Russo plays the ball back to Steph Catley. That's with Leah Williamson. And Leah Williamson brings the ball forward for Arsenal. Very start of this second half. Pings a long ball over the top there. Touched off by Frida Marnham to Emily Fox on this near side. And she wins the throw straight away. Gunnar says Marnham's finishing is good, but she's too slow and no fight. See, I don't think she's got no fight. I think sometimes her first touch lets her down. I'd agree with that. I think sometimes she doesn't make the right decisions in that final third. She'll pass when she should shoot, or sometimes she'll shoot when she should pass, or she delays a shot for too long, takes an extra touch. All those things I would agree with Frida Marnham, but ultimately I think she's effective in the way that we play. She scores a lot of goals, and I think that she's worthy of her place in the team. Absolutely. She brings something a little bit different, and that's a good thing. And she scored, 12 goals this season again, 11, 12 goals. Pretty good. Richard says, agree. My first time on this channel, thought it was for supporters. No, it's for supporters. We're all supporters here, my friend. We are definitely all supporters here. But not everyone's got to agree with everybody, have they? Greg says it must be warm today. Frida hasn't got gloves on. Yeah, obviously it's warmer than it has been. There's no doubt. I mean, see, I've got a bit of sympathy actually for Frida with her gloves, because I get very dry hands, and I've got special cream for it. And unless it is quite warm and if I'm outside, I need to wear gloves, or my hands the skin just peels off it. It's horrible. So I don't know whether Frida's got a similar kind of condition with her hands. I don't know, but I kind of wear gloves quite a lot when most people don't, and I get laughed at sometimes. But that's the reason. Anyway, Emily Fox's cross all the way across the goal. Wasn't quite anybody there to finish it off. We did mention that earlier, didn't we? Anyway, the ball comes back out to Mariona. Now it's with Leah Volti. Arsenal give his third goal. Oh, well, that's it. It's not a bad ball out to the far side. Chloe Kelly's ball all the way across the 6-yard box again. And again, no one can get a final touch on it. It's going to roll behind. It might well be a corner. Again, that's good football for Arsenal. It was Frida Minor actually played that ball out to the far side. Chloe Kelly's cross. And, see, that's where you need your 6-yard box player that's sitting on the bench. That's where she would have scored there, probably. Stina. She'd have got herself in there and scored. Arsenal won a corner. Rajendra says she's been picked all the time. Yeah, Frida Minor is absolutely. I live in Toronto and we had a mad ice storm last night, 1 week into spring. To be honest with you, it was cold here yesterday. I mean, we was out in Newcastle watching the trophy parade, and it was absolutely freezing. And today it's actually quite nice. It's just mad weather at the minute, isn't it? It goes from hot to cold, but we didn't have snow, thankfully. Anyway, the corner comes in, the goalkeeper doesn't really deal with it. The shot comes in. It was Frida Minor for about 8 yards. Put it over the bar. I mean, it was an effort she had to take quickly. The ball was falling out of the sky and wasn't quite able there to keep it down. Yeah, she had to take it quickly, leaning back. It was always going to be tough. And she's fired it over the bar. It's been a positive start to the second half from Arsenal. And Crystal Palace struggling to really get out of their own half at the moment. Matthew says, yeah, no one gambling on a ball getting through. Yeah, exactly, yeah. The problem is sometimes apart from Stina, we don't have a natural player, a 6-yard box player, do we, that attacks those spaces. And, Stina gets a lot of goals because that's what she does. And, we've already spoke about Leslie Russo. She's scoring a lot of goals now, and it's not a major issue, but she could get herself another 5 to 10 a season. Ian Wright always used to say, didn't he, how many goals he used to get a season just by constantly going into the 6-yard box. You can make 10 runs. You might only get the ball once, but you score. And if you do that every single game throughout a season, you're going to probably get 10 goals more than you would have done. And that's what Leslie Russo could do. She could easily get 5 to 10 more goals a season by gambling a lot more and getting on the end of those crosses. You would pick up a lot more goals, but that's not part of a natural game, I suppose, isn't it? And it is Stina's natural game, and that's where they're different, and that's why they can both play together, even though it doesn't happen very often. They can complement each other. They also, again, have picked off the ball from Crystal Palace. Frida Minor touches it off to Mariona, gets the ball to Chloe Kelly. Again, the cross comes in. Again, no one really attacking it. Beth Mead tried to come in at the far post. Crystal Palace do clear it away. Emily Fox now, though, in possession on this near side, and then she's fouled, and it is going to be a free kick to Arsenal. But yeah, that was rather interesting, wasn't it? It is a free kick to Arsenal now, so we're going to see that very, very shortly. Just got a couple of things to sort out here. Give me 2 seconds. I do apologise. In the corner, free kick comes into the far post, and Steph Catlett was actually arriving, couldn't quite get that under control, and it's gone behind for a throw to Arsenal over on the far side this time. And Arsenal doing all the pressing at the start of the second half. We've played 6 minutes. It is still 2-0. And it could easily be 3-0 or 4-0. And it might well be 3-0 now. Leslie Russo's done well inside the box over on that far side. Puts it across. Oh, the goalkeeper got there. Would have been a simple tap in there for Frida Marnham. In the end, the goalkeeper did well. And now Crystal Palace play a long ball. See, they stopped playing that from the back now, probably because they realised it wasn't working. It took them 45 minutes to figure it out. I figured it out after the first 2 minutes of the game. Anyway, there's an injury there, so Lee Williams just kicks the ball out it's actually Emily Fox. Again, she's picked up a little bit of an injury. It's probably nothing too serious. It generally isn't, is it, with Emily Fox? She's a tough old cookie. And I think she just kicked the Crystal Palace player's foot, actually, on the follow-through. And, yeah, bit of a sore one. Sure she's going to be fine. Joe says, Fox acts like she's been poleaxed. Fox down again, not looking good. I think she's going to be fine, actually. Miss Pinkshot says, Foxy getting... I don't think she got stamped on. It looked like more on the follow-through as she went to kick the ball, the other player's foot came in, and it's like... They're quite sore, them, aren't they? But normally they're not too bad in the end. But yeah, she looks okay. She's going to be fine. Every time she gets a knock, she seems to recover very quickly. Anyway, that's anyone else coming forward now on the far side. Chloe Kelly cutting in field from that left-hand side. Plays the ball forward to the edge of the box. I just went in between Freedom Arnhem and Beth Mead, and Crystal Palace managed to clear it away. Joe says, to be honest, she must be another one who's knackered. Yeah, exactly. You can't keep overplaying players, no matter how good they are. Every so often, you've got to rest them. You have to. And that's something that Mikel Arteta has struggled to do. And it seems to be something that Rene's struggling to do as well with certain players. And eventually it comes back, yeah, you can say, well, they're fit, they keep playing. Yeah, they do now. But it's a problem waiting to happen in the future, isn't it? And it won't just be a little injury that keeps her out of action for a week or 2 weeks. It's going to end up being a serious injury that keeps her out for a long time. That's the danger, isn't it? Like with Bukayo Saka at the moment. So these are the lessons that we need to learn. That's why we get a squad. You know, if we only needed 12, 13 players, we would only have 12 or 13 players. We've got 25 players. That's why we have 25 players, so you can rest and rotate. And we've got quality players that we can do that, we can replace with. So that's what we need to do. Anyway, also going forward now, Freedom Arnhem plays a ball here over the top, looking for the run there of Beth Mead. And the ball ran away into the arms of the goalkeeper. But Arsenal are on top of this game quite a distance here, and it's just a matter of how many more goals are we going to score in the second half, you feel. And if we get it together, we could score another 2 or 3 quite easily. Greg says they play Fox all the time to knacker up Emma's squad. Well, I don't know if that's the reason. El Loco says Rene should just replace Fox. She plays too many games and needs a rest before going to USA, where she plays 24/7. Rene doesn't rotate enough, and that worries me. No, exactly. I agree. She doesn't rotate enough, and that worries me. You have to rotate. You have to. It's not, football these days. Modern football is physically demanding. It is, and if players don't get enough rest, then it's an injury waiting to happen, isn't it? That's what it is. Crystal Palace coming forward, a shot from distance, but that's going to go harmlessly over the crossbar. Will says, I can only guess that both managers don't trust their squads enough, otherwise rotation would be no issue. Exactly, yeah, that's got to be the reason, isn't it? Because when you've got all these players, why not use them? I'm not saying play them all the time. No, you play your main team or your preferred starting 11, you play them most of the time. And then what you do is you rest and rotate 1 or 2 at a time. So you don't suddenly change 6 or 7 players for one game and then go back to your normal start 11 again. No, what you do is you change 1 or 2 in this game, then you change another 1 or 2 in another game, and then everybody gets a bit of a rest. Everybody can keep fresh. And you've got your subs. The most important thing about it is you're getting your subs on the pitch. You're getting your subs minutes on the pitch so they're in tune with a game. So when they do have to play, they're ready. We've got too many subs in this team and in the men's team as well that don't play enough minutes. So when they do come on and when they are needed, they look a bit rusty because they're not playing enough games. Anyway, Leslie Russo now battling away to try to get a third goal, plays the ball out to the far side. Chloe Kelly cuts in, gets a shot away. Oh, it's blocked. It was a good effort. Second effort, blocked again. And that one's going to go behind for a corner. El Loco says, I never understand why coaches have players they don't trust in their side. Seldom if you don't trust them. Exactly, yeah. If you only trust 13, 14 players, then get rid of the rest and just see if you can survive a season with 14 players. You can't. You can't. You need your squad players, but you need to use them. Otherwise, they're not going to be able to. Look at Rosa Kafaji is another example, right? She doesn't play enough, so when she plays, she looks miles off the pace. But that's the manager's fault. You need to keep them regularly on the pitch. I'm not saying start them all the time, but anyway, a corner comes in, it's cleared away to the edge of the box. A shot comes in. I think it was Leah Volti with the effort, blocked. And Crystal Palace trying to launch a counter attack, but they can't get the ball out of their half at the minute. It's just relentless Arsenal pressure. Just can we get the third goal? Beth Mead now over on that far side. It was her goal. Brilliant volley it was that started things off in this game today for Arsenal. Jenna Nice-Swanger bringing it forward, touches a ball into Mariona over that far side. A cross comes in. It's going to beat the goalkeeper. No one coming around the far post. And Crystal Palace can just clear this away. Joe says, not only that, Rich, it keeps a healthy team mentality. Everyone would feel part of the team. Exactly, yeah, it does. Yeah, that's the other side of it, of course. You've got it's good for morale of the whole squad. Absolutely, it is, yeah. But for me, it's just more about if you need a player to contribute to the team and they've been sitting on the bench for 8, 9, 10 games in a row, getting 5 minutes here and there, they're not going to be ready. They're not going to be ready to play if you need to play them due to an injury or something. And that's, for me, that's the crucial thing. That is the crucial thing. And, you know, that's at every level of football. You know, training is fine. It's not the same as playing matches. You need to get that match sharpness. Anyway, Frida Marnham now coming forward over on that far side. She runs into a bit of trouble here, actually. Maybe, again, not always making the right decision in the final third. But anyway, Miss Pinkshot says, is KCC injured? Not many minutes lately. I don't think she's injured, not that I'm aware of. Again, see, the manager will rest and rotate some players, but not others. Anyway, Arsenal coming forward again, looking for that goal. That's a good ball from Frida Marnham out to the far side to Chloe Kelly, still over on that left-hand side. Plays a ball. That's a good ball. And the cross comes in again. No one attacking the 6-yard box. We could have scored another 3 goals already in the second half just by someone attacking that 6-yard box. It's a good ball. It's a lovely bit of play, actually. Chloe Kelly there was an overlap. It must be Steph Catley, is it? It was a brilliant. Oh, no, it's Jenna Nice-Swanger. What a great cross that is across the 6-yard box. Nobody gambling again. Nobody gambling again. And that's the 3rd time in the second half that's happened. And I'm sorry, but you've got to gamble. You've got to gamble. And nobody gambled there. And obviously the result of that is not a goal. And it should have been a goal. Brilliant play that from Arsenal. Brilliant cross from Jenna. And, you know, if that was me putting that cross in, I'd be absolutely shouting at everybody in the middle. Why aren't you there? Why isn't someone tapping that in? Get me an assist. Anyway, Arsenal picked up the ball again, just on the edge of the penalty area. Crystal Palace getting themselves in a bit of a muddle, and Frida Marnham battling away there, and it's Leslie Russo comes away with the ball. Ryan says, rotate the managers. Also, because of a lack of rotation, it's a good thing for McCabe. She's suspended. Yeah, exactly, because she never gets rotated either, does she? So it is a good thing she's suspended, but she's going to walk back in the team next game, I'm sure, no matter how well Jenna plays. And that's not good, is it, either? You know, for me, Jenna's done okay today. She's done nothing wrong. She probably deserves to play the next game as well to get more minutes, but she won't because Katie McCabe will be back and Katie McCabe will play. Absolutely. Anyway, Beth Mead now on his near side. Well, she fought about a cross, then fought against it, pulls it back to the edge of the box. A shot comes in. Oh, that's a good save from the goalkeeper. That is a really good save actually from the goalkeeper. It was Mariona there with a shot on the edge of the box. And that was a good play again from Arsenal. Beth Mead this time took her time and then just rolled the ball back to the edge of the penalty area. Mariona was coming in, got a good strike away on it, but the keeper dived well down to her left-hand side, made a good save. Greg says, Mead is too central. She should be coming in from the right. Yeah, I mean, it's what she does, though. It's how she plays, really. That's how she gets so many goals, because she does come inside. Vicky says, Renee has done well for me in the last 2 games. Yeah, sure. But no, we've done well in the last 2 games. So then you rotate today, don't you? That's the point we're making. We've got no problem with the last 2 games. The last 2 games are brilliant. She picked the right team, the right tactics, outstanding. Today was a time when, you know, a lot of this team is a team that's played the last 2 games. Bring some other players in to get a minutes today. It's only really Jenna that's come in, and she's only playing because, as we said, Kate is suspended. You can guarantee Katie would have played if she wasn't suspended in this game, and then Jenna doesn't get a game again. So it's not about the last 2 games. The last 2 games were brilliant. She picked the team to win those 2 big games, and we did, and that's fantastic. Today, I'm not saying it's not a game we need to win. It is. We have to win. But if we don't have squad who's good enough to beat the bottom team in the league, then that's the problem is then the players that we've got in the squad, isn't it? So you've got to trust them. Anyway, Leslie Russo now, Arsenal desperate for this third goal. Oh, that crosses over here. It wasn't a great ball, was it? But he's going to run all the way across to Chloe Kelly over on the far side. And it's all in a bit of a miscommunication there with Jenna. Nice one, but now Crystal Palace can come forward. There's some space in behind. That's an offside. Surely that's an offside. It is an offside. Good play that was from Leah Williamson. The way she started to run with the forward and then stopped and let the forward run offside. That was clever play. And we are going to see a substitution now. And it is Vicky P. Vicky P is coming on. And Kim Little's coming on as well. And it is Leah Volti's going off. And I'm not sure who else is going off for Vicky P. You'd imagine probably Frida Marnham. It is Frida Marnham going off for Vicky P. So they're the two substitutions there, which is good. Freshen things up a bit. Vicky P is getting some minutes on again, which is good to see. Rajendra says captain been sub. Yeah, well, the captain's come on. Kim Little's come on. She wasn't on the pitch before. She's come on now. Kim Little replaced Leah Volti. And Arsenal looking for that third goal, which we've been looking for since the start of the second half. We've played 63 minutes. It is still 2-0. Quite how we haven't added more to that total, I'm not sure. But anyway, Crystal Palace coming forward now, really, in the second half, just over halfway. That's nice play, actually. And it's a good ball as well. This is a good attack from Crystal Palace. Good defending, though, there from Emily Fox. She was having none of that, was she? And surely that's a foul. He's going to be a free kick to Arsenal. But that was a bit brighter from Crystal Palace, wasn't it? At times, they've played some decent stuff. But they just lack the quality, don't they, at this level? Certainly against the top teams. But they've given it a good go today. Fair play to them. Fair play to them. Will says, a very comfortable performance today. It should be 0-5. Start rotating now, prepare for Leon. Don't want any injuries. Unfortunately, that's going to be a little bit out of our hands with the international break. But anyway, Rajendra says, who would you sub for Caldente? Well, I mean, we've got some options. You've got Rosa Kafaji could play in that role. You could put Leslie Russo in that role and bring Stina on. Plenty of options. KCC, yeah, there's another one, KCC. I wouldn't necessarily play KCC in that role. It'd be a matter of shuffling the team a little bit. But yeah, we've got plenty of options for Mario. Anyway, Crystal Palace coming forward again, actually. They've suddenly had a decent couple of minutes spell here. And if they were to pull a goal back, you never know. I mean, you know, it has been comfortable for Arsenal, but 2-0 sometimes can be a dodgy lead if you concede a goal. Anyway, after one a free kick on the edge of the area. Joe says, is it me or is Foxy being fouled a lot? Well, Foxy gets fouled all the time anyway. It's just the way she plays, I think. Ryan says, Renee heard about Vicky half of the half. Yeah, maybe she did because she had brought her on halfway through the second half. See, I told you they watch the show, you know. They definitely do. Anyway, Crystal Palace are making 3 substitutions as they look to try to get themselves back into this game. It'll be a big ask for them, obviously, from 2-0 down, and they've not really had a shot at goal. I don't remember Daphne making a save. I don't think she has. Regina says, Wainwright was sold. Well, she wasn't sold. She was loaned out to Man City. And I think the reason for that was so that we could get Chloe Kelly. I think that was part of the deal. But yeah, we don't really have another right back. Katie Reid can play there. Katie Reid she's had solid games at right back. She could play there the odd game to rest and rotate Emily Fox. Yeah. So that's not a reason not to rest her. We've got someone who can play there on the bench. Matthew says, Marnon's touches and passes have been uninspired. Yeah, she hasn't been brilliant. I don't think anyone's been brilliant today. And I did say on the show on Friday, my concern with this game was the players being able to lift themselves for this game after the week we've had and the excitement of the other night and stuff like that. And to be fair, we've done the job. We've been professional today. And I don't think there's much more we can say about it. We should have scored a few more goals and we still might. But it's been a professional performance. And yeah, it looks like we're going to get the job done, and that was what today was about, really, wasn't it? Ryan says, still like Tiny Tech. Yeah, I think we all do. And I say it seems strange that she's gone on loan to Man City. She's not really playing for Man City. We might as well kept her on our bench and had her as cover for Emily. But I think it had to be about the Chloe Kelly deal. I don't think we get the Chloe Kelly deal done without loaning a player to them. and that was a player that they wanted as cover for their right back. So we've got Katie Reid. I'm not overly concerned, but let's see. Let's see what happens. El Loco says, to be honest, Wainwright has next to no future at Arsenal. She's not up to scratching this side, even if when she returns. I mean, to be honest with you, since she got injured, or since she came back from her injury, we've since signed Emily Fox. So she's not really got a look in. And I don't know whether or not, I mean, obviously she's only ever going to be backup for Emily Fox, absolutely. Who's got the ball now actually on this near side. It's bobbling around a bit there, a little bit scrappy this period of play. Beth Mead then plays the ball forward and Vicky Palova is going to keep this in. Drills across a 6-yard box and Leslie Russo did attack that one at the near post. It's gone behind. I think it's a goal kick. But that was a nice ball there from Beth. Vicky P got after it. Pulled it into the near post and was it Leslie Russo got the touch on that? No, it's a corner. The defender must have got a touch on it. It is a corner. We are midway through the second half now. And Arsenal looking for what would be the match sealing third goal. We've been saying this for a while, actually. It should have come, but it hasn't anyway. Beth Mead corner deep to the far post. Leah Williams sends it back across the 6-yard box, but the goalkeeper comes and claims that. The Palace goalkeeper played well, actually, today. And that's one of the reasons maybe why we haven't added a third goal, although we haven't been anywhere near clinical enough. But you can still see us scoring a couple of goals at the end and winning 4-0 and everyone's happy. And I say today's all about getting the job done, really, wasn't it? It must be hard for the team to have lifted themselves for a game like this against an opposition, no disrespect to them, but the bottom of the league, Crystal Palace. And it's a game we're expected to win comfortably. So to raise them, which is why I would have been tempted to have made more changes to the team for players to prove, with a point to prove. Greg says, I agree, she's caught out of position too often. I mean, I can't even remember the last time she played for Arsenal, really. She came on a couple of games, but if you remember, when she was playing regular, she was good. You know, she was charging forward. I mean, she got the nickname Little Tank for that reason, because she used to tank it up and down that right wing. And, you know, she put in some good crosses, and I thought, you know, she was strong defensively. And I always liked her. Since she got injured, she's not really played. So I can't even remember what her weaknesses were, because I can't remember her playing now. Anyway, Chloe Kelly's ball. We had people in the box that time, but it was a good defensive header by Crystal Palace. So I can't remember what she was. I just remember when she was playing regularly, she was good. And we all loved her, didn't we? And obviously the injury then set her back. And of course, Emily Fox has arrived and that kind of finished regularly starting. You know, Emily Fox now in possession finds Vicky P on the edge of the penalty. That's a nice ball into Leslie Russo. A lovely turn. Oh, that would have been a great goal. It's a good save again by the Palace goalkeeper, who has played pretty well in this game. We just said that before. And that was another good save from her. That would have been 3-0. Vicky P heavily involved in that again. Russo plays the ball out to this near side. Beth Mead's going to keep it in. She's got a little bit of space now, not really under too much pressure. One defender in front of her plays the ball in a lovely turn there from Vicky P. A little ball off, gets it back inside the penalty area, tries to dink across and it hits the defender. Could have been handball. They don't clear it away particularly well. It's back in towards Mariona again on the edge of the box. Plays it back to Leah Williamson. And Arsenal just trying to probe for this third goal now. You do feel it's coming in this period of play. Mariona on this near side plays it square out to Kim Little, the substitute. Touches it off to Steph Catley. And she gives it back to Leah Williamson inside the centre circle. Leah brings the ball forward, pings it out to this far near side towards Beth Mead. Just overhit that ball. Rajendra says, to make more changes, we need a squad of 30. No, we don't. Why do we? We've got 25-player squad. You can only play 11 at a time. So we've technically got two teams of 11 plus a couple of extras as well. So why do we need 30? That makes no sense. Ryan says, why maybe just use some of the ones that we have? Exactly, yeah, we've got enough players. We've got quality players. We've got a 25-player squad. We don't need 30 players, do we, to rotate our team? Of course we don't. We've got enough for two teams. So we could have made 11 changes today from the other night. Because we've got players in each position that we could have changed. We could have changed every single player. and we still should have had enough to beat Crystal Palace. I'm not saying that was the right thing to do, by the way. I would have made 5 or 6 changes, maybe, or 4 or 5. Oh, and again, Leah Williamson there, a little bit sloppy, has crept into a game a little bit over the last year or two. Anyway, Arsenal do survive that. Leah Williams actually won the ball back. And now we're coming forward again. Chloe Kelly over on that far side. Now Mariona takes over. Now she finds Chloe Kelly again. Have we got anybody attacking the penalty area? We've got bodies in there. The cross comes in towards the near post, headed away. Mariona wins it back again on the edge of the penalty area. And Crystal Palace battling to try to win the ball back. Name the changes. Well, okay. Well, we'll start with the goalkeeper, Manu Zinsberg. All right, a new back four. You could have, obviously, Cody's injured at the minute, but we've got Cody and Amanda as 2 centre backs. We've got, obviously, Jenna as a left back instead of Katie McCabe. Right back, Katie Reid. That's a back four. In midfield from today, KCC could be playing. Vicky Palova could be starting. There's 2 for the midfield. Then in the front 3, you've got Stina could be playing. Caitlin Ford's on the bench. She could be playing. And who else have we? What other position we're missing? I'll think of the other one in a minute. But there's 10 changes there straight away. And that's still a good team. That should be able to beat Crystal Palace. So there's the changes there. I'll think of the other one in a minute. It'll be probably number 10, wouldn't it? I mean, you could play Vicky P in number 10, couldn't we? Well, no, would it be right? It'd be right wing, wouldn't it? Because obviously Beth and Chloe are both playing in this game, but one of them would play right, wouldn't they? I suppose. And that would be the changes then, wouldn't it? We've got 2 players in each position at least that can play there. So yeah, they're the changes there. We've got enough, definitely. We could be resting and rotating a lot more than we do. El Loco says Rene's maybe waiting for the 3rd goal to go in before resting Russo. Clearly, she doesn't trust Stina to lead the attack. Well, she trusted her in the Real Madrid game away. It didn't work, so trust her again. Palace, Villa, Forest, Bournemouth, Man City, FA Cup. Oh, the FA Cup semi-final draw. Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? Forest against Bournemouth or Man City. Palace against Villa. Wow, that's exciting stuff, isn't it? Oh yeah, Hurtig, another one. Yeah, Hurtig could play. Regenda says can't have injured or players recovering. Well, no, I mean if they're fit enough to be on the bench, they're fit enough to play, aren't they? So okay, we'll leave Leia Cadena out of things then because at the moment she's not fit. So then you could play. We've got Katie Reid can play centre back. Obviously Lotta can't play at the minute, but she's another option when she's fit. She'll be fit soon, I'm sure. In this particular game, then I mean you could have played. We've got another centre back, haven't we? I'll think of it in a minute. I was coming forward now. Leslie Russo touches out to the far side to Chloe Kelly. Chloe Kelly moving into the penalty area, plays the ball square to Kim Little. Plays it out this near side. Beth Mead cross. Oh, it's over hit. It's gone behind. That wasn't a great cross, was it? Chloe Kelly's crossing is so much better. Vicky says Vicky P looking really sharp, but need to watch her minutes. Hopefully not playing during the break. Yeah, we need to watch her minute. Yeah, her minutes absolutely. But now we've got enough players to rotate. Like I said, but you don't. What you don't do is you don't rotate 8 or 9 players in one game, do you? You rotate 2 or 3 every so often, different 2 or 3 to keep everybody fresh. That's what you do. And we've got. You don't need 30 players to do that, do you? You know, we've got enough to do that because you do get injuries. Absolutely, you do, and you do get suspension, especially with Katie McCabe quite often, and players do need a rest as well. So you know, you do need to do that, rest and rotate. But I say you don't really make 9 or 10 changes in one game. Yeah, generally, you do it sensibly over 3 or 4 games, and you make sensible changes, keep everybody fresh. That's the way to do it. But today I would have made a lot more changes. Or well, I'd have made loads of changes today. But anyway, we haven't. We're winning the game, and no one's got injured. Greg said Mead scored a good goal, but not doing enough. Yeah, she hasn't really done enough. No. Matthew says last few minutes have been sloppy. Yeah. Amanda, that was it. Terry's come up with it. Amanda was the other centre back I was thinking of. Yeah, there you go. So you know, we could have made 11 changes today, realistically, but you know, we didn't make. We made what 1. 2. We made 2, didn't we? And 1 was enforced because of a suspension, which we wouldn't have made had that not been the case. But, you know, I think sometimes you don't realise the importance of the squad until you need your squad players because you have injuries. We've seen it in the men's team, and the squad players aren't necessarily good enough, or they're not quite played enough. And the goal, it's an own goal. It is a 3-0, and Chloe Kelly's cross. It won't go down as an assist for her because it's an own goal. It was put in by the defender, I think. It is 3-0 to Arsenal finally in the last 15 minutes. We've looked like scoring for much of the second half. It just hasn't quite come, but it has now. Again, it was Chloe Kelly at the heart of it. She just breezed past the defender. I think it's an own goal from the defender 25. Yes, it is. It looks like Leslie Russo would have scored anyway. It was put in by the defender. Another own goal. We've had a lot of own goals lately, haven't we? And it is 3-0 finally. That does seal the deal. And it is going to go down as an own goal, I'm sure. Joe says, looks like Liverpool defender has turned up. Yeah, indeed. Vicky says, finally, Miss Pickles, goal. Greg says, now make some changes. Yeah, there's still, 13, 40 minutes to play. Now would be the perfect time to make some more changes, absolutely. Ange B says, I'm well behind with the stream. Well, you're going to see the goal in a minute then. It is an own goal. And what's that? We've had, in recent weeks, we've had, 4 or 5 own goals, have we? There was 2 against Liverpool. There was 1 against... who was it? We had an own goal against someone else recently, didn't we? Tottenham, the Tottenham game. Tottenham scored an own goal, didn't they? We've had an own goal today. So that's 4. I'm sure there's another one. I'm sure we've had 5 own goals in the last, 6 or 7 games, which is, we didn't have any before that. It's quite strange, isn't it? But there you go. Ryan says, everyone else scores for Arsenal as well. Sign them up. Well, we don't need to sign them up, do we? We're just... they just get the goals. Eloko says, to be honest, despite her goal, Mead's game is declining. It's been the pattern all season for her. Renee has big decisions to make in the summer. She's got a lot of big decisions to make, absolutely. Vicky P says, nice the defenders to get in the box for us. Exactly. We don't attack the ball. We don't need to. The defenders do it for us. That seems to be the case, doesn't it? But anyway, it's another goal, which is good. Ange B says, seen it, good stuff. It's to Eloko there. Let's hope... Berta has something for the women's team as well. No, he can stay out of it. He can keep out of it. Matthew says, correct, Vicky, because again, no one was in the box. Well, I think on that particular case, I think Russo was just behind the defender, would have probably scored. But anyway, Rajanda says the team dynamics are important. Absolutely, they are important, yeah. But you get team dynamics from playing players in the team so that you can get that. You don't get it if they're set on the bench, and then you're never going to get it if you don't play them. So you've got to play them to get the team dynamic to work. And yes, in the big games, you play your first choice team. Of course, if they're all fit, absolutely no problem with that at all. And you make subs as and when the game dictates it. But in other games, you need to use your squad players. That's what they're there for. You've got to make use of them. And you can't keep playing players like Leslie Russo game after game after game, Emily Fox game after game after game. You just can't do it. You can maybe get away with it centre-backs. I would say the centre-back position is probably the least physical position in the team in terms of, I've played at most positions in football, and to me, centre-back is the easiest, certainly physically to play. Mentally, you've got to be switched on a lot more, reading the game and stuff like that, and the physical side of the game is different. But I think you can play centre back every game. We are making some subs now. Rosa Kafaji is coming on for Chloe Kelly, and it's interesting that KCC is coming on. Still no sign of Stina. She played for 2 minutes the other night. It is Mariona going off for KCC, and so no sign of Stina coming on in a game like this. That is very disappointing. I think her days at Arsenal are numbered, I'm afraid. But there you go. Matthew says KCC indeed. A lot of people are happy to see her for the last 10 minutes. Not quite sure why Leslie Russo isn't getting a rest, but we've been talking about it for the last hour and about resting and rotating. And Rene's not listening. And if Leslie Russo gets an injury, we know who to blame. Anyway, Vicky P's coming forward now. Plays the ball out to Rosa Kafaji. That's her first touch over on that far side. Cuts in field. That's a poor ball. You see, this is why everyone screams out for Rosa Kafaji to play, and she does stuff like that. She does it regularly. Richard said maybe Stina's yeah, maybe she is. Okay, that we don't know. If she's carrying an injury, would she be on the bench? I don't know. Is she 100% fit? Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's true because she did only play very, very brief. Oh, she looked quite brightly, didn't she? When she came on against Real Madrid the other night, I thought she's only on for 2 minutes or so, but she ran around a lot and looked fine. And she's on the bench again today. I don't know. We can't really speculate that, but you might be right. Greg says 4 subs and still no Stina. What's happening exactly? Palace are making a sub now. I mean, Caitlin Fall's not come on, but then she's played a lot of football lately, so maybe give her a rest. But Stina's hardly played. Surely this is a counter player. It just makes no sense. I'm sorry. Anyway, Arsenal won this game. That is the main thing. We are 3-0 up with less than 10 minutes to play. We are almost cruising, you could say, to 3 points. A much needed 3 points as well, as every game is a much needed 3 points for Arsenal. Rajendra says, is she recovering from what? Because she's been playing she's been playing every game. Apart from Liverpool game, she didn't come on. She's come on. She started against Real Madrid. She came on in the second leg. And she's not even coming on now. The last sub, it's going to be Katie Reid, who's coming on for Leah Williamson. Not sure about that. I mean, it's good to see Katie Reid on the pitch. This is what we're saying. We want these players to be playing. And Katie Reid's coming on. I don't know whether Leah's got an injury. Let's hope not. Doesn't seem to be injured, does she? She's going off, walking off, or jogging off now. So let's see. But yeah, I mean, it's good to Katie Reid to get some minutes for these last sort of 6-7 minutes of the game. And she says maybe Stina's pregnant. Is that something that, you know, obviously you're a woman and maybe you've picked up these things that you can sense that maybe us blokes can't sense. I don't know. That's a strange thing to say. I mean, it's not impossible. You know, I don't think she's married, but she's in a relationship, isn't she, Stina? So I guess it's a possibility. But anyway, there's an injury here to a Crystal Palace player inside the Arsenal penalty area. A little bit of a concern there from her teammates as well. I don't think it's too serious. Let's hope not anyway, but they're going to get the physio on. Not sure what happened there, actually. Joe says, hopefully, as Jenna gets used to game pace, she gets a chance in different game positions. Yeah, hopefully so. We'll see. But it's what I mean. You see, players need to play, don't they? See, she's gone down there. And I don't really know why she went down or how she went down. But anyway, it's a drop ball to Arsenal in any case. El Loco says, finally we see Rosa. Won't be surprised if Stina leaves in the summer. Can't blame her. She's too good to spend her career on the bench. Indeed. Regina says, Katie Reid's our next star. Absolutely, she will be. Vicky says, good for Katie to be playing at centre back. Yeah, exactly. I agree with that. Ange B says, early days of pregnancy, you mean? Well, you seem to know quite a lot about this, Ange. You seem to know a lot about this. I'm a bit worried. How do you know? How do you know all this about Stina? I'm quite interested. Terry says, Ange, you might be right. I'll try anything to get away from Renee. Oh, dear. Regina says, I can see she has the quality to become great. Oh, Katie Reid's fantastic. We know Katie Reid's going to be brilliant. Anyway, I was going forward looking for a fourth goal. It is KCC plays it into Rosa Kafaji, and she's shot into the side netting. And looking for, in fact, she was offside anyway. It wouldn't have counted. She did score, of course, against West Ham, didn't she, Rosa, in Renee's first WSL game, in actual fact, it was, wasn't it? And she was played in there. The ball was just delayed, actually. That was why she was offside. She's put into the side netting anyway. So it's a free kick to Crystal Palace. We're into the last 4 minutes of the game. And there's a goal free kick there is headed on by Kim Little, I think it was. And then Steph Catley puts it out for a throw to Crystal Palace over on that far side. Crystal Palace 0, Arsenal 3. It has been as comfortable as we assumed it would be. Hasn't been the greatest Arsenal performance. The second half's been sloppy at times. We've dominated it. Obviously, we should have scored another 2 or 3 goals, let's be honest. But anyway, I say today is just about getting the 3 points, and that's what we're on the verge of doing. And that's Katie Reid. Oh, look at her. She's so composed, isn't she, Katie Reid? She's absolutely brilliant. I really do think she's quality. Richard says there, Terry, what's your problem with Chloe? I don't understand. I don't understand either. Honestly, I don't. I like Chloe Kelly. I think she's great. And this is not just because she plays for Arsenal. I thought she was great before when she was at Man City, when she was playing for Lionesses. I've always liked her, obviously, when she was at Arsenal before. But anyway, not everyone has to like every player that we do. Everyone's entitled to their different opinions on it, and that's fine. You know, it's not a problem, really. I mean, I don't understand why anyone would have a problem with Chloe Kelly. Not the way she's been playing. Even if you're maybe sceptical at the beginning, fair enough. But the way she's been playing, she's been playing so well, hasn't she? Anyway, I was coming forward here, and that was almost a good ball, actually, but Crystal Palace have cut it out. I still think we will end up getting one more goal in this game. I really feel that we will in the dying moments here. We've still got 2.5 minutes to play. Rajendra says we need a new generation of players to take over. Well, I mean, I think we need to refresh the squad. Absolutely. We do, as I think most teams do. Every year you need to refresh your squad, don't you? Rajendra says the players are getting on, but some of them are, yeah, and some of them will need replacing. Absolutely, you know, we've said this on the show a few times. You know, there's a few players. Kim Little getting towards the end, maybe Leah Rolty, you know, Beth Mead. Is she going to get any better from this point on? Probably not. You know. I mean, Leah Williams, and I think, although she was 28 yesterday, happy birthday to Leah. I think she's still got quite a bit to offer, so I'll say we'll be looking at replacing her. But yeah, Leah Volti, another one, maybe coming towards the end. But let's see, you can't replace them all in one go. Maybe we just need to replace them all gradually over a couple of years. You know, Katie Reid does a good defensive header there. And then the ball's hoofed away. Arsenal got nobody forward. Crystal Palace recycled the ball, and Daphne's finally had to touch the ball. She's picked up that ball there into the box, and Daphne might as well have just got a deck chair out in the sunshine today. Matthew says, yeah, I didn't like Kelly, then found out she was at Arsenal before all that, instantly love her. Well, I knew she was at Arsenal before. I remember seeing her play, but in her very early days. But I think she's a good player anyway. Terry says, traitor, I don't want to see the women's team turning into a charity like the men's team, and as soon as the end of the season comes and she goes back to City. But see, the circumstance of it, we're not a charity case. You know, we had an opportunity to sign a very good player on loan, a player that was unhappy at our club, and a good player that we were able to get on loan for the end of the season, and that's really helped our team. I can't understand what the problem with that is. It's not a charity case, is it? That's what the loan system's for. And she's out of contract at the end of the season. We might be able to sign her on a permanent deal, and that would be great. You know, Beth Mead now tries to chip the ball into the box. The goalkeeper doesn't really deal with it particularly well, but gets away with it. And that was a chance for the 4th goal. It doesn't look like we are going to get it now. There's going to be 4 minutes of stoppage time, though, so you never know. And Daphne's going to come far out of her box here to touch the ball off to Katie Reid. Good to see her on the pitch. Katie Reid's a great player. Miss Pinksot says, sign Chloe Kelly permanently. I totally agree. I would sign her anyway now. I think she's done enough. Anyway, now we've got a bit of space here on this near side for Beth Mead. Drills across in. Oh, it's over the keeper and it is in. I don't know if she meant that as a shot, but Beth Mead has scored her 4th goal. And we said we was going to get a 4th goal, didn't we? We have got a 4th goal. A little bit unconventional. I think that maybe was a cross. Maybe the wind blew it in, but it went into the top corner. It's a good goal. And Arsenal have won this game quite comfortably in the end. Over the keeper, bang. I think I said 4-0 in my prediction, didn't I, actually, the other night? I can't remember now. But anyway, it is 4-0. And that was, Beth Mead looks a little bit embarrassed, so I don't think she did mean it as a shot. Greg says another great cross for a goal. Fantastic. Joe says it was a cross. It was a cross here. Mido. So Mido's 2nd goal of the game. And yeah, it was a fun goal, wasn't it? Ryan says, is it a charity if we sign her on the free? Well, maybe Russo's a charity case then, because we got her for free. I don't know. Terry says, if you can't get into the City team, let's have a sulk and Arsenal, whatever. Well, no, it's not about not getting into the City team, is it? The manager wasn't picking her. There's a difference. If she wasn't good enough to get in a City team, then I would agree. But she clearly is good enough to get in the City team. But the manager, for whatever reason, she fell out with the manager. So the manager wasn't picking her, and that's sometimes what happens in football. And the fact that we've got a chance to get a good player, tough luck to City is what I say. Matthew says she meant it. No, she didn't. Vicky says, glad Beth got a full night. Well, we're glad now because she's just scored a great goal at the end, hasn't she? Virginia says she's getting her eye back in. Well, that was a cross, let's be honest. Vicky P says Taylor was an idiot. Absolutely, we know that. But we've benefited, so I'm quite happy. I wouldn't mind getting a few more players off Man City. Actually, Lauren Hemp, for example, will do me. Phil says I love Mido. Look, we all love Mido. Of course we do. We just don't feel as though her form's maybe up there with what it was before her injury. Not surprising, really. I suppose, is it? Rajandra says we will give her a contract, as you can see from her crosses. Well, yeah, I'm sure we'll offer her a contract. It's just whether or not she wants to take it, whether she wants to move to London permanently. I think she will personally. Would be my guess. But let's wait and see what happens at the end of the season. I hope she signs, because we'll find it difficult to buy another player of her quality in that position. So we've got one now. Let's try and keep her. Greg says that's the problem. We only got players on free. The club seems not to spend money on the women's team. Well, I mean, we did put in a record bid for Russo, didn't we? And Man U turned it down, and we managed to get her for free. So that was their fault. We would have paid the money. And Mariona wasn't free. Was she free, Mariona? Did we pay money for her? I can't remember. Anyway, she's a great player as well. So I think we did pay for her, didn't we? Richard says Mido's crosses have been iffy all game. Love her though. Yeah, well, that was an iffy cross, but it went in, so we don't care, do we? Ryan says, let's see who's up for a free transfer. Exactly, yeah. The women's game is different to the men's game, isn't it? You don't pay big money really for players in the same sense, because there's not the money in the game for that. Anyway, Mido's on a hat-trick. Plays it through. Is Russo going to get a second goal here? Oh, good defending, actually. She was pushed over in the box. In fact, it was offside anyway. It wouldn't have counted. Joe says that's business, which women's teams do. That's bad. Well, I mean, to be honest with you, women's football is different, isn't it? It doesn't have the money for those big transfer fees that the men's game does. So you're going to have to understand that that's the way it is, really. El Loco says, we're not a charity case, no ways. Arsenal women are a step up from Man City, 100%. Half of their players would kill to play for us. Absolutely. Anyway, the game has just finished here at Sutton, Gander Green Lane. It is Crystal Palace 0, Arsenal 4. It was all very comfortable. It was all very, I suppose after the week we've had, it felt very flat, didn't it? But it doesn't matter because we've got the 3 points, and that's the most important thing. It was Beth Mead got things, well, she scored the first and the last goal. The first one was a really good one, a left foot volley from Chloe Kelly's left wing cross. And that got things up and running. It was 2-0 before half-time. Leslie Russo got a customary goal, mistake at the back, and there's a good finish, again with her left foot into the bottom corner. The second half, we huffed and puffed for a while, didn't we, to try to find the third goal. We had a few chances. The goalkeeper made a couple of good saves for Crystal Palace. We did get the final 2 goals quite late on. It was an own goal for the third one. It was Chloe Kelly again made it, again down the left-hand side, pulled the ball back, and it was the defender put it into her own net. And then right at the end there, Beth Mead's cross went straight into the top corner to make it 4-0 in stoppage time and put the seal on a victory that Arsenal have won. Really, we didn't really get our second gear, if we're totally honest, did we? We played some good football at times in parts of the game. And other times it was a bit sloppy. It was a little bit second gearish, but we always had the quality to beat Crystal Palace, didn't we? And we did fairly comfortably, which was good, wasn't it? Joe says, The end to a pleasant game, enjoyable stream, Rich. Bye. Thank you very much, Joe, for joining us. We'll see you soon, I'm sure. Vicky P says we paid for Mariona and there needed to be Victor. Well, I think that was about the wages and the contracts actually more than the actual transfer fees, I think. Herman says, is Palova playing okay after injury? Well, she's only just back, isn't she? It's only her second performance. If she played quite well today, I thought. She set up a couple of chances there, played quite well. Miss Pinksock says, well done, ladies. Well done, ladies, indeed. Matthew says, full time. Greg says, Mariona was on a free. Yeah, I had a feeling she was. But anyway, you've still got to pay wages, haven't you, for players? And that costs money, doesn't it? Greg says, player of the match was DVD. She was brilliant. She was, yeah. She touched the ball about 3 times. So she didn't make a mistake, that's for sure. Oh, yeah, we had that comment there about Man City. LG says, Bethany Jane Mead was crap. I know she scored. Well, I wouldn't say she was crap. She scored 2 goals. She did all right. Matthew says the first goal was class. It was, yeah. I mean, I thought the goals were pretty good, actually. And, you know, it was fine. It's just that, yeah, I do feel a little bit that it was always, this game was always going to be a difficult game for everyone to get up for, just because of the week we've had. And to win 4-0 is decent, actually. Vicky P says, another good performance, job done, 3 points. Yeah, exactly, as we expected. 170 Gunner says, Palova did all right when she came. Well, she did well, yeah, absolutely. Ad B says, nice win, lovely to see you all. Happy Sunday, everyone. Indeed, and yourself, Ange, thank you for joining us. Good to see you as well. Ryan says, good win, keep up with Man U. Well, yeah, exactly. Miss Pinksock says, see you next time. And thanks for the stream. No, probably thanks to you guys for watching again as well. Good stuff. So, yeah, I mean, it was a pleasant game, wasn't it? It was stress-free. We won comfortably, no problems at all. So that was good. Enjoyed it. And, yeah, it was you know, good to win, good to get another victory, wasn't it? Enjoy the rest of the week. And yourself, my friend, good to see you. Hopefully you'll join us again. Miss Pinksock says, later chat, enjoy your Sunday and you. Good to see you all. Rajendra says, Mido needs to learn how she shot that and we'll get loads. Oh, you mean the first goal? Yeah, absolutely, the first goal. Left foot volley. Wow, incredible. Greg says, happy Mother's Day and I'm still up for adoption. Well, yeah, that's not a bad idea, is it? Let's all get adopted by Anne, sure. That'd be good, wouldn't it? But yeah, it was a pleasant game. I would say that's pretty much what it was. It wasn't brilliant. It was good. It was enjoyable in the sunshine. And obviously we got a victory, and that's the main thing. Phil says, just need Bournemouth to thrash City, and it will have been a good Sunday despite working. Yeah, absolutely. It'd be nice, wouldn't it? But I'm not sure that's going to happen. John says, let's play Chelsea. We're ready. Yeah, well, let's get through our semi-final first. Richard said, my first time in the chat. Thank you. Some interesting comments. Yeah, thank you very much for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe, please, and give us a like and come back next time, because we're always here. LG says, I think we've scored 4+ goals more than any other team in the league this season. Yeah, we probably have, yeah, and that's good. Unfortunately, we still come short in some of the big games, which is why we're second in the league and not top, and which is why we probably won't win the Champions League, but who knows. 170 says, you should do more pre-match. I'm not here during 90 minutes. Well, to be honest with you, doing a whole game is quite tough mentally. So doing another half an hour beforehand or an hour beforehand, it would be one or the other, I think. I could either do stuff before the game and after the game and not do the game, or just do the game and that's it, because it is quite mentally draining, to be honest with you. Quite often I'll finish a stream here and I'm mentally tired, obviously not physically tired, but I'm quite mentally tired after doing it. So I don't really want to do more stuff before the game, because I wouldn't enjoy the game as much, because certainly second half I'll be flagging, and sometimes I am anyway. Rajendra says, bye, see you all next show. Indeed, well, my friend, good to see you. Yeah, I mean, I am thinking next season of changing things slightly on the channel, actually, anyway, just because I think it's important to freshen things up. I'm not exactly sure how that's going to manifest itself yet. I haven't quite decided. I've got a few ideas sort of rattling around in my head a bit for next season. But, I like doing the match coverage because I love the interaction with all you guys in the chat. I love that. and I think that's something I don't want to lose. Although I am finding doing the games quite time consuming. Life sometimes, lots going on, and it's finding 2 hours, 2 odd hours out of your time every weekend. Weekends are quite precious, aren't they? When you work Monday to Friday, to fit everything in on a weekend, it's quite tough, isn't it? And when you've got, especially when the men are playing as well, you've got 2 hours for the men, you've got 2 hours for the women. That's 4 hours out your weekend, and that's just covering the games. So yeah, it's quite tough. But anyway, I don't want to change it too much, but I've got 1 or 2 ideas, maybe ways to move it forward a bit as well, because that's what it's all about, isn't it? And Miss Pink was Villa won, did they? Oh, okay, good stuff. Terry says, can everyone try to like and subscribe button? I don't think it's working. Yeah, just give it a try. Just once, press them both once, just to see if they're working. And that's good. Ryan says, not good for players. Well, no, it won't be. No, it means they're on their way down. Greg says, the way the show goes is perfect, Rich. This is the best women's show available. Well, I do appreciate your comments, my friend. I mean, I hope that people enjoy watching it. I enjoy doing them. I do enjoy doing them, even though they are quite time consuming sometimes, and it's fitting it all in. But as long as you guys are enjoying it, that's what it's about, really. LG says, we know Chelsea, Barcelona, and Lyon are the top 3 best teams in Europe at the moment. Do you think Arsenal is the best of the rest? Well, we're going to find out. If we beat Lyon over 2 legs, then you'd have to put us in that top 3, wouldn't you? And at the moment, we are in that top 4, definitely. Let's see. Ryan says, still the best show going. Well, thank you very much for the comments. Absolutely. Terry's 100%. Greg, best channel on YouTube. Well, I don't know about that. There's lots of channels on YouTube, but I just, I love the community that we've got here. You guys in the chat, fantastic. It's you regular people here, and it seems as though we're getting new people popping up every so often as well now, which is good. And that's what it's about for me. It's a pleasure to spend the match days with you guys. It feels like we're all watching it together, and that's what I like about it. I've seen other channels, I've seen other watch-alongs. People do them in different ways, and that's fine. Everyone's got their own way of doing stuff. But I like to feel that we're all watching the game together, and that's how I feel it is. I come away from the game. It's almost like in the old days, sometimes you might go down a pub and watch the game that's on telly with your mates, and that's what this is what it feels like. Maybe you guys don't feel the same. I don't know, but I do. I feel like when it's finished, it's like I feel as though I've watched the game with a whole bunch of mates, and that's great. So yeah, I like doing that, and I don't want that side of things to change. It's just I'm trying to find a way of, I don't know, changing a few things about it and just making it a little bit easier for me to fit in around my life as well, which is tough. It's a tough balance, isn't it? It is, let's be honest. Greg says, the time you put into this, everyone should be grateful. Well, I don't know about people being grateful. I just want people to enjoy it, really. I just want people to enjoy what they see, and if they do, and hopefully they'll subscribe and stuff like that, and help the channel that way, and like and stuff, and that's good. One somebody goes, says, not that I don't like the content, I'm just only watching pre-post match and half time. Well, you see, what you want to do is what a lot of other people are doing. Watch the game, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on Sky, turn the sound down and listen to the channel. So you can watch the game and you can listen to the channel, you can contribute some stuff. Not many other channels do that. That I've seen, the watch-alongs, where we can all talk about whatever you want to talk about while the game's going on. If you've got a point you want to make, pop it in the chat and we'll talk about it. If you're watching it on Sky, they're not going to do that. Sky don't care about you. They don't care if you watch or not. They don't care what your comments about the game are. They won't even entertain you. So watch it if you want to watch them on there. Brilliant. But stay with us, put your comments on, and we can have a chat as well while the game's going on, like we're down a pub with our mates. That's what it's about, isn't it? You won't get that if you just stuck at home watching it on telly, will you? So have the game on in the background with the sound off. Join us, and we can all enjoy it together, can't we? Ryan says, study for the game. No, I'm not going to not do the games. I'm actually not going to not do the games because I love watching them with you guys, absolutely. But anyway, look, that's more for next season anyway. I'm going to have a think over the summer what I want to do with moving it forward and how I can make it work a little bit smoother for me, really. as well as still, doing what I love doing. And I think that's key, isn't it? I mean, the channel's growing well. It obviously it takes time. It's quite a slow process, but you've got to enjoy doing it. I've got to enjoy what I'm doing on the channel, because otherwise the time you put in is just not worth it. So, and I do enjoy it, and I love all you guys that we interact with. So yeah, that won't be changing. Terry says, Rich, you need to do what's best for you. We all appreciate the time you dedicate. No, absolutely, no. I know you do, and I appreciate that, absolutely. Greg says, this is a great community. Wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Exactly, and that's what it's about, really, isn't it? That's what I say. That's for me. That's what it's about. It's about the community that's here, and it's growing, because there's a lot of people in the chat now that come regular that wasn't here 3 or 4 months ago, and now they are regularly every show. And over the last year, more and more people are coming in, and hopefully over next year we'll get a lot more joining us as well into our community. And it seems like everybody comes along here, and we're all here for the same reason, really, and that's what makes it so good. And that's down to you guys as well. Do you know what I mean? I'm just here chatting away where the game's going on. You guys are what make it what it is. So yeah, I just need to work out a way to make it work a bit better as well for me in life, because life is it's busy, isn't it? At the end of the day, it's not easy, and maybe I put too much preparation into these shows that I maybe don't need to. Today I didn't really prepare at all. I didn't have time to prepare. We was out all day yesterday. I was out for a long run this morning. Didn't get time, and I still did a show, and you all joined in, and it was great. So maybe I can just do that. Maybe not put as much work into it, preparing for it all. Looking into the players and where they've played and all that kind of stuff. Maybe I don't need to do all that. And that will maybe save me a couple of hours the day before or the morning of the game and stuff. So, it's all about a balance, isn't it? I'm trying to get that balance right. And at the moment, the last 2 or 3 months hasn't really worked for me as well as it used to in terms of the balance of it. I just need to work on that. The actual shows themselves are fine. I love them, but it's just the balance in between. So that's what I'm going to look at. But yeah, Terry says, take us on a jog and do the live watch along. Kill 2 birds. Maybe I'll try that and see that'll work. I don't know. I'd have to have it on my phone, wouldn't I, when I'm trying to run? That'd be quite fun. Greg says, let's face it, we've got Terrier. That's what, absolutely, yeah, absolutely 100%. Anyway, that's all for next season. Nothing. I'm not going to do anything different now between now and the end of the season. We've got the Euros in the summer as well, so we'll be covering that absolutely. So, but I'll have a chance to rethink things, and I say next season we maybe look at 1 or 2 different things and stuff like that. So I'm trying to get all this women's stuff over to the other channel as well, just because then I can separate it a little bit easier. That's all. But anyway, look, that's all for later on. But thanks for watching today. It was enjoyable, wasn't it? I enjoyed it. The sun's gone in now, but the sun was out. The sun was out in the game. It was good. Greg says, stop doing the men's team and give yourself back. Well, you see, this is the one thing that probably is what's in my head, has been in my head for a while, because I'm not enjoying watching the men's team anymore at the moment. Anyway, certainly. And yes, I've quite enjoyed this international break, because for the last 2 weeks, we've been out of focus 100% on a women's team. We've had 2 or 3 women's shows. We've had 3 or 4 women's games during this international break. It's been great. Loved it. And Tuesday night, we've got the men's team back, which I may or may not do that game. I haven't decided yet. On a Tuesday night, it probably doesn't make any odds. I'll watch the game anyway. I might as well watch it on, because I will watch the game probably. So, but yeah, that is something, or I might change the men's coverage a bit. That's why I really want to get all this stuff over to the other women's channel. So then, but obviously most of the people want to watch this channel, which is great. But anyway, look, we'll worry about that later on. Terry says, looking forward to the Euros. I won't have to watch the Cartles charity go. Well, you will, because you'll be playing, I'm sure. But anyway, look, we'll worry about that next season. We've got still a lot to look forward to this season still, haven't we? Wow. Of course, that's the last women's game. There is an international break coming up. Last women's game for a couple of weeks. There is a Lionesses on Friday, so we may well cover that game for you, actually. Instead of doing a women's show, we might have might do. Paul likes doing them games, so we'll probably do that Friday for you. Obviously, the men's game is Tuesday, so yes, I will probably have a watch along of that game. I'll see in the next day or so. I'll put a stream up for that one, so please join me for that. Next weekend, of course, the men are playing again. I can't remember what day the game is now. I haven't looked that far ahead. I think it's a 5:30 Saturday, isn't it? Anyway, we'll figure that out. I'll probably cover that game as well. And yeah, we'll get it done. We'll do the stuff that we're doing. And of course, we'll be here with some more women's stuff as always. Ryan says, do 5-minute men's highlights if there are any. If I can find 5 minutes, I'm sure we can find 5 minutes. That may be all we'll get, if that. But yeah, I mean, I'll be a Tuesday night for the game, I'm sure. So yeah, join me for that if you can. I'll say Friday we'll do the Lionesses. Greg says, thanks for a great show. Night, Rich Terry in the chat. Indeed, and yourself, my friend. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. There's still a few hours left. And if you are celebrating Mother's Day with your family, then have a great time as well. That's where Paula is this afternoon with her mum, of course. So yeah, enjoy Mother's Day. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Of course, the clocks changed last night, and I did change mine. I know people didn't think I had at the start, but I did change my clock. Well, it changed automatically. So we're getting some lighter nights now as well. Summer's coming, which is always good, isn't it? So looking forward to what's coming up. It's going to be good, isn't it? So yeah, make sure you stay tuned, like and subscribe. Loco says, thanks for another blockbuster show. No, thank you very much for joining us. Terry says, Rich Mexican, enjoy the last few hours that are left. Indeed, back to the grind tomorrow. So I'll say we'll see you Tuesday for the Fulham game. Fulham against Arsenal in the Premier League. Join us for that. That is going to be good. It did finish here at Sutton United's Gander Green Lane. Crystal Palace winning 0, Arsenal 4. Comfortable win, wasn't it? We enjoyed that. Nice, stress-free afternoon. We've had a lot of stress in the last couple of weeks. It's been exciting. Today maybe wasn't so exciting, but we got the job done. We won the game, and that's the most important thing. It was 2 goals from Beth Mead, 1 in each half. First, she got the first and the fourth. In between that, there was a goal from Leslie Russo, a lone goal as well. 2 goals in each half. Comfortable win. We're still second in the league. We've got a Champions League semi-final to come. It's all looking good, isn't it? International break coming up as well. So we'll see what happens there as well. So yeah, thanks for watching tonight, guys. Today, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Arsenal are flying. Come on, you Gunners. I will see you soon, guys. Take it easy. See you soon.